once again, we rejuvenate or reverse the aging process when we do that. So again, you know, ionized water is very alkalizing, it's very hydrating, it's very detoxifying, and these are all the same qualities that raw foods has, in different ways, but again, it mimics some of those same qualities.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Bob's going to make sense of it all, show you how simple it all is, and then we're going to talk about whole foods, which are different than raw foods.
Americans have recognized the critical importance of drinking water. Have a vastly superior water at home. Alkalizes the body, helping to prevent disease. It is a powerful antioxidant that retards the aging process, provides the body with oxygen, and is a powerful detoxifier because of its incredible hydration properties. You can purchase a water ionizer for your home, or you can stop by and purchase a gallon at the Watershed Wellness Center, 6439 West Saginaw, just west of Kreitz Road.
Welcome back. Bob, we're now going to talk about whole foods.
Right.
And I know people are looking, going, whole foods, what does she got in her hands? They're actually whole foods right here in these bottles. But they play a very important and vital role in reversing the aging process and our digestive system and all sorts of things. Let's start with chlorella.
Being the most powerful food in the world, and why is it? First of all, both of these foods, spirulina and chlorella, are 60% protein. So this is what I use for my protein. It's totally different. It has a totally different effect on the body when you use plant protein compared to animal protein.
Okay.
Animal protein brings about more disease in our society probably than anything else other than maybe dehydration of the body. If you look at animal protein, the problem is that you've got a limited complement of amino acids. You've got, and they're very heavily weighted in some and very low in others. Whereas in these two foods, you've got 18 different amino acids that are in the right ratio to one another, and 60% of the chlorella is protein or amino acids, which is a phenomenally high amount. Nothing comes close. Meat is only around 20%. Just to give you
say
an
that is
example.
very, very high.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got my daughter is a vegetarian and she's a runner on top of it.
Right. Me
So
too.
we've talked about that. Yeah. But how to get that protein in? You know, they've got to have a certain amount of protein, especially when they're growing. You know, bones, the whole bit. But she doesn't want to pack in meat, which I don't blame her. So this is a perfect supplement for her. But this blows away anything else that you're going to find in your traditional health food stores because the protein content in this so much higher. And it's grown differently too. Well, it's grown in a controlled environment. These are not harvested out of a lake or anything. They're grown in controlled environments. You know, we import the chlorella from the world's largest chlorella manufacturer in Taiwan. Really superb stuff. But you've got a very broad array of nutrients. And also, I always tell people, this is the best nutritional buy you'll ever find. People look at the price and say, geez, you know, $9 or $10 just for a small bottle like that. You can spend $5 on a box of cereal and you're going to get about that much nutrition out of it at all. Plus, it's going to acidify your body, it's going to dehydrate your body, it's going to do a lot of things that you really don't want. It fills you up fine, but there's really no nutritional content to it. Now, when you talk about any raw food, such as an apple or a banana, and you just eat it, you eat all of that and your body absorbs all those nutrients. Same is true with spirulina and chlorella, but the chlorella, again, in particular, is the strongest. 20% of the chlorella is a unique dietary fiber that's found in no other kind of food. That fiber also binds with heavy metals and pulls them out and other synthetic toxins better than any other food we know of. And so if you've got heavy metal toxicity, which I guarantee is rampant throughout our society, people don't realize this, but heavy metal toxicity is very, very common. It also leads to yeast infections, and you know, both men and women. And so candida is very, very common, but the source of that ultimately comes back to, you look at heavy metal toxicity. Chlorella is the best food known at removing heavy metals of any kind. Now, how much do we take? What is a normal serving per day? Good
question. If you want a maintenance dosage, you're talking maybe 3 to 5 grams a day, a very small amount of food in your hand. But that's the thing. If you look at that amount, if you pour out, say, a half a dozen pills in your hand and you look at it, that is a very small amount of food. But yet, when you take that, your body will actually make a huge difference in your health. Whereas if you look at any other food in your hand, I don't care if it's an apple or a piece of steak or fish or anything, you're not going to eat that and think, well, that's actually going to make a difference in my health every single day. Whereas if you take either one of these foods, spirulina or chlorella, it's going to make a tremendous difference in your health.
Now, this one also is
it's a blue-green algae.
Okay, this one's an algae. Now, what is the difference between this one and the chlorella?
Other than the fact that they're two algae and the nutritional profile is somewhat similar, you're going to find they're completely different foods. And my philosophy in health, we talked about raw foods, is not only just to eat raw foods, but get as many different foods into your diet as possible. It is not about quantity. We weigh too much in our society.
We do.
It is about it is about quality and whether or not the food is raw or not, and of course, variety, getting as many different foods, because every single food is going to have a different set of enzymes and a different set of organic chemical substances that haven't been denatured by heating or processing or anything that your body's immediately going to use.
Now this one, I'll let you expand on it. This is Acidophilus. I have lived with this for a good year, if not longer. I take it daily, and I am a firm believer in it. If you have any type of gastric problems, irritable bowel disease, Crohn's, Acidophilus is definitely the way to go.
Absolutely.
Explain to them, and normally this is refrigerated all the time, but explain to the viewers how Acidophilus works.
Right. It's actually Acidophilus and bifidus. Now, those are two types of bacteria, and those are required by the body or essential. For instance, in these two foods, we have essential fatty acids. Well, anything when you see the word essential, that means your body cannot produce it. So our body can produce most of our vitamins, but we can't produce Acidophilus bifidus, for example. Now, and you do need both of those. A lot of people, there's kind of controversy about when you should take it. You should take it with a meal. I take it, if you've got children, you sprinkle it right on their food. I guarantee you they're going to have 1/3 of the amount of colds. It is essential, it is absolutely necessary that the body have this bacteria. It's just basically a friendly bacteria. The Chlorella, when taken with the Chlorella causes that to multiply at 4 times the rate of normal, so you get really, really good digestion. But this is the thing that will keep down, for instance, candida or mold in your body, which I guarantee you 70% of all women and 50% of all men in the country have that, and that is a statistic. And some people, if you get a yeast infection as a woman or anything, at that point your body is completely rife with yeast. You really need to get on top of it. The only thing that is ever going to, if you go to a doctor or something, you're probably going to give you antibiotics for that.
Sure.
Urinary tract infection is quite often associated with this. Okay, that's partially true, but basically what's happened is you don't have the friendly bacteria in your body, so these foreign predators, put them that way, come in. Let's take a stomach ulcer, for example. Okay. That's created by a bacteria called A. priori. So it's not, stress can aggravate it, but stress does not cause stomach ulcers. What happens is you don't have enough friendly bacteria in your body, and this parasitical bacteria has gotten in and it eats in between the lining of your stomach and the stomach itself, and that's how you get a hole in your stomach.